Good evening and welcome to Two Lines on this Tuesday. Hopefully everyone is doing well. And it is finally starting to feel like fall. It's very cold evening here in Chillicothe, Ohio. So hopefully everyone's doing well. Enjoying this Tuesday. It's been a busy week at Two Lines. And we are approaching the NSR Nationals. The Western Nationals are this weekend at Electric Dreams. The following weekend, the Eastern Nationals are at Cloverleaf. Two completely different events and are managed as such. It looks like the Western Nationals is one class, and it's all Moslers. And the Eastern Nationals is two classes, Vintage and GT, and some pretty cool stuff coming out of that. The Eastern National is going to be run on an 8-lane scale auto plastic track, so that's going to be new. So it'll be new for everybody, and no one knows anything about the track layout, so a lot of people will be doing a lot of setup of cars on the fly, which will either even out the competition or those of you out there that are really, really good at tuning will have an even bigger advantage. So, but that's all good. It's going to be a fun event. I'm excited about going. And my brother and I are headed up here from Ohio, and it's about a 4-hour drive, give or take 10 or 15 minutes. And so it'll be interesting to see how that goes. But I'm excited about it. My cars are not near ready. I still need to order some parts to finish upgrading my GT car. It's not ready. I still need to do something with the livery. I think that I'm struggling getting the tuning right, and so I've just kind of been putting it off. And the other car is in my box. Yeah. So we'll see how this goes. So what's going on? Let's check out the chat, see who else in. Chris Patskowski is in. Chris Freder is in the house. Greg is in the house. Hey, Greg. What's up, buddy? We get to hang for a couple days here next weekend. Not this coming weekend, but the following weekend. So I'm pretty excited about that. And that's probably what I'm most excited about the Eastern Nationals is the chance to get to spend some time with a bunch of people that love slot cars and have been kind of hanging out on the live streams and a part of the channel for so long. And so there's a handful of people I'm going to get a chance to meet in person for the first time. And then, Josh and Greg and Andy and Jeff, and I'm not sure who all is going, honestly, from Ohio, but that we race with, but Steve Holzman. So it'll be good to really get a chance to just hang out with those guys for a couple days. It'll be fun. So Greg's in the house. Hello, Mike. Thanks for being here, Mike. Whoa, see, I don't understand why it shrinks that down every time. There we go. No, you have a slot car problem. I think everybody in the chat has a slot car problem. The pictures will make it look like I have a Jaeger issue. That's funny. Chris is in the house. Who else do we have? Mark Cunningham is here. Patriot Hobbies is here. George from Area 51. Hey, George. George, great pictures. Thanks for sending me those. You're doing an awesome job in the resin printing. Really enjoying that. Patrick. Greetings. Patrick keeps teasing me with the next update of his software, Fast Laps. And so I'm pretty excited about that. I do actually need to load that today. So, but Patrick, thanks for being here. Appreciate it. Daniel, we're going to get to hang out with Daniel for a couple days. He's headed up to Michigan as well. Mr. John Mark Hall is in the house. Hey, John Mark. Bo. Hello, Bo. Thanks for joining. Hey, John Tucci. Thanks for being here. D'Angelo, welcome. Thanks for being here. Bob, thanks for joining. Bob, I did post that Bob at Bobcat Slots has released urethane tires for the new Carrera. So if you are looking for urethanes for the new Carrera NASCARs, like this beauty right here, I know that there are other companies that are working on it, but Bob announced yesterday that he has tires ready. So he operates an Etsy store. So Bob, let me see if I can find that that link real quick, and I'll post it in the chat. So I think it's awesome. So if you're after some urethanes, and let's go to YouTube Studio. And community, is that right? There we go. Oh, looks like Bob's already sold out. You'll be making more, right? Details of my post. Here we are. Copy, paste. Sorry about that. In the chat is a link. So let me go back to this. Hello. There we go. I think. John Tucci's in the house. Bo's in the house. D'Angelo, I already said that. Yep. Good. There's Bob. There we go. Nick V is in the house. Did not say who was 1 and who was 2. Shotgun Dave, welcome. Good evening. Dave's been working on some resin printing too. That's pretty awesome. I got a sneak peek at some of the stuff he's working on. I won't share it, steal his thunder, but you guys are going to love it. It's some really cool stuff. Hey, Dusty. Good evening. Bo, Marty for 2 lines. Hi, nice start on your wood routed track. Yeah, Bo, I will talk a little bit about that tonight. I have been hard at work, working on the 2 lines oval. So yeah, it's getting there. Doug, welcome, Doug. Hey, Jim. Jim, I watched your video this afternoon after work about the new NSR, and I think it's a fantastic. I think I had it figured out based on their picture, their teaser, the new NSR car, but it's very cool that it looks like it's the Lotus. That will definitely be a car to compete with the 908 and the 917-10 and the 917. Just great to have another car in that class of cars that's different from NSR. So well done, NSR. Can't wait to see. Hopefully you guys will get a chance to see that car this weekend at the Western Nationals. Jim, are you going? Are you racing? But it'd be cool to get a chance to get your hands on that. Very cool. Yep, Chris is going to come down on Sunday, put some laps in. Chris, for his birthday, got a new DeFalco controller. So, Chris, congratulations. Welcome to the club. Hey, Danny. Well, thanks for joining, man. Good to have you. Hey, Greg. Thanks for being here. Hey, Vin. Fill us in on how much Bondo you've used, pun intended. So, Vin, you're right. I did make a couple of routing mistakes. One, I just mismeasured, and I think I just got in the groove, and I just marked with my little tick marks, and I was a half inch off. I wanted my lane spacing to be 4.5, and I did 4.5, 4.5, 4.5, 4. And so I had to Bondo one lane and sand it. And man, that Bondo stuff is hard. Once I put a coat of paint on it, I can still see it. I thought I had really feathered it out and had it looking pretty nice. But man, it's hard to cover up your mistakes, but it doesn't impact the lane at all. Like, it really is fine. But yeah, I had to use a little bit of Bondo. I did the seams in Bondo, and I corrected a couple of slots that I had an issue with. Just that one inner turn that was too tight, or not tight. It was 4 inches instead of 4.5. But yeah, used a little bit of Bondo, but Bondo works great for repair. So put a coat of paint on it, and it's all good. Made it just in time. Good evening. Rumor has it Marty has a Woody. So maybe we'll have to go over in the other room and check it out. It's still kind of a mess in there because I've been working on it. But I think I've surprised people with how fast the track has come together. And once I jump on something, I'm pretty relentless usually. At least to get to about 90%. See, now I'm at the place where the project will stall out a little bit. One, I need to buy some things, and I'm kind of out of slot car money. So I try to be frugal. You guys know me. So I need to work on the walls, and so we'll do an update. But yes, John, you're right. Been working on the wood routed track. So Mad P is in the house. Hey, Mad P. Thanks for joining. HSF, good evening. Thanks for being here. Daniel Thomas, thanks for joining. It's good to have all you guys tonight. Without knowing the track or the layout, tuning on the fly is going to be at a premium. Yeah, I agree. And I think that maybe you won't have cars that are perfect. But, I mean, if you've already dropped and invested the money in the car to go as light as you can go, I mean, it's just going to be a little bit of tuning. I don't think it's going to be anything too crazy. Unless there are people who have a lot of experience with scale auto track, and it's a lot different. We'll see. But yeah, the track design, I think the biggest thing, John, with that is going to be the gearing, right? I don't have a big selection of gearing for the NSR cars, so I'm probably going to have to order a little supply. I don't know if they will have a store set up where you can buy parts. I guess maybe I should ask Mike that and have some supply up there in case you get caught without the right gear or something breaks. Not fly cars. That's right. Hey, Gene. Welcome. Good to have you. Hey, Collection. Good evening. Did you see Electric Dreams and Ashland Jean? Let's see who else. Hey, Robert. Welcome. Thanks for joining. Hey, Johnny Pro. Does anyone know where I can get a fly motor with a drive shaft front motor car? That's... I have this. Ooh, watch out. Knocking stuff over. I have this car, and is that how they do that? The drive shaft is one piece out of the motor? I haven't had this open in a long time, so I don't remember. Johnny, hopefully somebody can help you in the chat, because I'm not sure where you would get that. Gene, never knew they were there. I will be racing there Thursday night. Gene, did you find a local track? That's awesome. There's another store called Electric Dreams. Should have more NASCAR Camaro tires back in stock by Thursday or Friday. Excellent, Bob. I put the link in there so if people needed to get to it. So you can just keep checking back to that link, right? Hey, Daryl. Come on, guys. 60 people and only 16 likes. That's all right. It's what happens. Yep, there's the link. So if you're looking for some urethanes, go hit them up. Mike, welcome. We're getting close, Mike. We're getting close. Really excited about getting up there. So let's see here. D'Angelo asks, how's the track building going? Enjoying the process? I will tell you that I enjoy woodworking. So the process of building the track was really kind of in my wheelhouse, to be honest with you. Working on things like that, being creative, being like building things, that's my release, which is why this hobby has worked out so well. Because it seems like I'm always working on something or building something or tinkering with the cars and just really enjoy that. So the track, the thing is, I always want to have a good plan. And so I changed my mind like 500 times on what I wanted to build when I finally jumped in and built something. And my plan was really just to do a 2-lane test track, just so I didn't take up a ton of space. And so I was looking at like about a 12 or 14 foot 2-lane, and that would have been maybe 4 foot wide. Actually, I was looking at maybe going 2 sheets of MDF butted up together and go 16 feet by 4 feet and just do 2 or maybe even 3 lanes on that and build a table for it. And then we get to racing on this track, and it's 4 lane, and I was like, I really need to do 4 lanes. So I went a little shorter. I went 12 feet. It's yet to be determined whether I should have went 14 or 16 feet. With a table that big, it gets pretty cumbersome in that room, even though I did put it on the table on casters, large casters, so it rolls really well, and it's really easy to move around the room. And the room's big enough that I can actually spin it all the way around if there's things moved out of the way. That room that it's in also doubles as my podcast studio. And so I've got to make some changes to the table that the podcast is set up on so I can actually move it over into the corner when we're racing. So I can pull the race table out and then push the race table into the corner and bring the podcast table out. So I'm going to have to put casters on the podcast table as well, which isn't a problem. But that's what I'm going to end up doing to make room for that because it's going to be double duty, that room. And the podcast table makes a nice race day table for like 4 guys or for pits. So anyway, so have I enjoyed it? Yes, D'Angelo, I have enjoyed it. It's been a learning process. Does tell me, it tells me that I know that I can build. I didn't really have any doubts that I couldn't build the table and route the track and make it nice and smooth and work properly and wiring and all that. I still have a lot of work to do, but I have enjoyed the process. So, and I'm working on video 2. It'll come out on Saturday. It'll just be an update. It's probably going to be 3 or maybe 4 videos total before I can get the table done. But I will tell you, and I'll show you tonight, I do have cars running on it. So we're far enough in the process that I can actually do some laps. So Dave is in the house. Tuesdayers, that's right. Thanks, Dave. I appreciate you staying up late, checking in with us. So yeah, that's I'm sorry, I'm reading some of the comments. Phil, welcome, Phil. Appreciate you being here. Tuesday nights are tough for you to make it. Well, there's always the replay, Gene. I appreciate you tuning in. Phil says he has a lot done on his track. That's awesome. Harry K, welcome, Harry. Thanks for tuning in tonight. Bo says hello, Jim from Germany. Chris, it will be awesome to have another classic NSR. I agree. I like it. I think it's a great choice. Steve, welcome. Good to have you, Steve. Steve, we'll get a chance to hang out here in a couple weeks. Missed you on Thursday, man. Hopefully you're doing well. Yeah, Daryl and Steve had a test and tune on Sunday night. Vin, probably a gallon on your track. Now, Vin, didn't you change your layout, though? So you probably bondoed all of the lanes and then rerouted. Yeah, I didn't use that much bondo. I probably only used maybe gosh, I don't even know how to describe it. Just really just a little bit. Not a whole lot. Yeah, Steve has a beautiful track, and then he's got a little test track, scale auto test track. So he's prepping his cars. He's going to Michigan to win. The rest of us are just going to make some laps. Steve's going to win. Mad Pete, router fun. Use a little drywall mud to fix the small defects. Yeah, I did use a little bit of mud, but I used Bondo for the big mess ups, and then I used some drywall mud just to feather out the seams. The cars don't jump going across the seams. They're pretty smooth. The problem is you can still see where all I patched underneath the paint. I was kind of hoping I went with an eggshell, and I was kind of hoping that would hide some of those mistakes, but there's still enough sheen on eggshell that all that stuff shows up. So maybe I should have went with flat, but I'm super happy with the grip. The grip level seems to be pretty good with the eggshell latex paint. So it works. Cool new track. Yeah, that was fast. Yeah, I don't know if anybody can I know Slot R understands where I'm coming from because we've had this conversation before. I'm a little OCD, and I was probably a lot worse as a kid than I am now because I've learned to let go of a lot of things. But one of the things I do obsess about is when I start a project, I'm kind of gangbusters till about 90%. And then the final 10% is just, it's tough to get to the finish line. And that's kind of how my brain works. It's unfortunate, but it is true. And like my fear is the track will look like it does today in the state that it's in today. Because I've put myself on a budget to build this track. So here, let me explain. So I wanted to build this track for under $400. Like for everything, completely finished. But what I've done to save money is, you know how you stockpile stuff? There's a meme going around where the father and son are working on a project, and the kid or the son goes, "If only we had a piece of wood that was 10 inches long, 4 inches wide, and an inch and a half tall." And the dad goes, "Wait a second." And he runs back into his workshop, and he's rummaging through this wood pile bin and pulls out the perfect board that he's been saving for 25 years. Well, that's kind of how I've built this project. The table, I reused 2x4s that I used for a project a few weeks ago. And then I've been using things that I've been collecting for the last few years here at the house with other projects. And so I've been able to save quite a bit of money by just reusing things and using those boards that you throw in the corner that sit there for 20 years and then you finally use them, right? I'm using that kind of stuff for this project. So that's what's funny about it. And am I going to hit my budget? I think I'll be okay. I do have a lot of hours in the project. Routing, like once I got in the groove, it went fairly quick, but the whole setup took some time, and I have a ton of hours in the project. But I think I'm going to come in around that number, maybe a little less. I don't know. We'll see. I saved some money by going copper tape. So I have $10 in the copper tape that I'm used, and I've got a little left over for repairs and things. I used some wiring that I had laying around from this project, rewiring this track. So I was able to like really piecemeal a lot of stuff together. George says, "Chris, I won. I guess it's cold and it would be a hat." George says, "It's because everyone thinks it's harder than it really is." Yeah, I think if you just break it down into steps, come at it with a good plan, figure out exactly what you want to build, and then build to that plan, it's really pretty straightforward and easy. It's not complicated. Now, there's some math involved. It's not difficult math. You have to have some tools. So if you don't have a router and you don't have, that's going to make it pretty difficult. So you have to deal with the dust. The MDF dust is a real thing. So just be reminded, if you're going to do that in the place where the track's going to be. Like this track right now is a mess because I routed a couple of things. Most of the routing I did out in the garage to prevent that dust, but I did a couple lanes in here, the straights, and this track is a mess now because of the MDF dust that just kind of floats around, and that stuff's super lightweight and it just kind of hangs in the air. But if you've got the tools and shout out again to Home Racing World's forum. Harry has a great series on building his track. The what is it? The Show Me track. And those are all great tips. He explains a lot on how he built his track. Again, I didn't route gains and I didn't put braid on. I went with copper tape. Now, down the road, I can easily do that. Pull the tape off, route the gains, put braid in, and be done with it. But I'll be honest with you, like the copper tape, I haven't, run a ton on it, but it's like butter smooth. And like that's what's impressive to me. But it is pretty fragile. So, but it's easy to fix. I don't know. We'll see how long it holds up, but I can always go to braid later. And then I still have the walls. I still need to paint the infield. I really need to route another lane on the inside just to put cars in. So sort of like a pit lane. I probably should have went ahead and done that when it was outside, but I'll route that when I get a chance. Josh Reed. Hi everyone. I'm attempting to design some stuff for the popular Harbor Freight box. Josh picked up the Harbor Freight box to take to the Nationals with him. Tony is in the house. What, fellas, what did I miss? A wood track at 2 lines. Nice. Yeah, Tony, that's been my project the last couple weeks, and I've neglected everything else in the hobby working on this track. So, but I'm liking it. I'm actually can run a few laps, and even though I got to be careful because if a car flies off, broken. That's what we're dealing with because I don't have all the walls up. Kara Bridges, Marty, with the new wood track, you could host the Chillicothe Classic in the fall to run the Home Racing World Sportsman and Modifieds. Kara Bridges, that actually is a great idea. These guys build all these cars and they send them to one proxy. And I think that I don't want to step on anybody's toes. That's the Show Me Showdown is Harry's thing. It's two different ones, twice a year. I would not want to interfere with any of those. But it would be fun to see some of these cars we've watched run the Showdown run on another track. And my track is different enough. It's 12x6. So my turns are wider radiuses, but shorter straightaway. Then, so the cars would run different. It would probably even out some of the cars because you don't have my straightaway is basically 6 feet long in between the turns. And Harry's is 16 feet, which means his straight is about are probably 10 feet long. He's probably got 4 more feet of straightaway than I do. Maybe a touch more because his turn radiuses are a little tighter because he's only 5 feet wide, not 6 feet wide, but that's close. And so, that's a lot from 6 feet to 10 feet. That's a big difference. So gearing might be a little different for my track. But I thought it would be cool to do a different type of proxy race here with the wood track. And so come up with, Harry's really into the modeling, and that's what the direction he's going. And I think that maybe like running modifieds, or I love sprint cars. Loved watching them as a kid, even as an adult. I don't get out very much, but if I'm going to watch any kind of dirt racing, it's sprint cars. Late models, I'm fine with. I enjoy watching them, but there's nothing better than a sprint car for me. And so maybe I do some type of sprint car. That's why George's midgets are great. Those are really, really cool. So I think it's a great idea, but it would be something in between. I think that the first thing I would do is do a fast lap challenge like Shotgun Dave did, and I've been so busy with things outside of slot cars that I just didn't find time to build a challenge car to send to Shotgun. I sent him jalapenos instead. But like maybe I do a fast lap challenge, and some guys that sent cars to Shotgun Dave's could send them here, and we'd put up a leaderboard and show the fast lap challenge. So I've got some ideas, Kara Bridges. I think that's a great idea. The Chillicothe Classic sounds awesome. That is a great name for it. So we'll come up with something. Hey, Lotus 24, crowdfund. Yeah. I'm not good at that. All the cool kids have wood. That's funny. Man, I got behind on that. Hey, Tad, welcome. So, like, Tad has some cars that would be awesome to see how they run on this track. UC Slot Cars, good day. Thanks for joining. I really like the livery on that car that's in your profile. You see, that's a sweet car. James Tharp, go UK, beat Duke. Is that game on tonight, James? My Buckeyes won big last night, and they got a nice win against Texas over the weekend. So college basketball is here, and I'm here for it. I love college basketball. Enjoy college football, too. Chief Redback, hello, everyone. Marty, they will have NSR car parts for sure. Okay, thanks, Steve. Appreciate that. I had not been there, so I wasn't sure. Hey, DJ Patrick, welcome. The Aussie online stores generally have heavy NSR stock. Johnny Pro, are you looking for a replacement unit? Uh-oh. What did Johnny Pro ask? Did I miss a question? I'm going back. Sorry, Johnny. Johnny Pro. Oh, wait, I can search. We have almost 400 comments already. Johnny. Does anyone know where I can get a fly motor with a drive shaft? Oh, that original question. Yeah, so John, okay. I just needed to keep reading. It looks like John Albright is tackling that. Twist the spring in the opposite direction of the normal rotation. A section of cheap Bic Pin ink tube makes a good replacement coupling. Harry K, question, rubber on your routed track. Right now, most of my cars have silicone tires or rubber tires, or some urethanes. Bob has sent me some urethanes, and my scratch build car, since they run at Harry's track, those are urethanes. So I think eventually the routed track will probably run urethanes because it really is a test track for the scratch build stuff. So Marty has finally crossed over. Let's see. Don't forget to wear a mask. Certain wood dust is harmful in your lungs and your health. Yeah, Bo, I when I was routing, I've got some footage of me routing without a mask, but that's just like a short clip because it didn't last long, especially when I was out in the garage. I had a nice cross breeze. I wasn't so concerned about it out there, but here in the house, yeah, I threw a mask. I've got a respirator style mask that I put on. That's pretty comfortable to wear. And so that's what I used. You're right. Yeah, some of that stuff, that MDF, I'm sure is not good for you. Daryl says, Johnny Pro, I have a brand new one out of a pen if you want it. Yeah, Johnny, John explained that, I think. Gene says, Marty, the place is called Modelville Hobby. They have about 5 or 6 wooden tracks. Nice, Gene. That's awesome. Yeah, Marty has finally crossed over. Hey, Bob, welcome. Call the new track Ford Raceway. Nice, Patrick. I like that. George says the Buckeye Ring Raceway. Video 2 is when he shows you how to build the wall, grandstand, and start finish line because he built it so fast. Greg, that's funny. So what am I working on now? What time is it? Oh, it's 8:41. I will probably walk over and give you guys a tour so you can actually see, so you don't have to wait until Saturday to see the update. Okay, yeah, Harry asked, rubber on your routed track. Right now I'm running everything because I haven't really decided what I'm doing. But Greg, thanks, man. I appreciate it. It's been a fun project. I can't wait to get some more people here to try it out. I know it's just an oval, and there are a lot of people, even me, was like, I would be bored with an oval. But I will tell you that I'm sort of giddy, like running laps on it. It's a blast. So it's hard to get separation on the oval track. Like I can get, yeah, it depends on the cars. I pretty much ran every slot car that I have on the track. Most, except for my Carrera cars. And the time difference between the fastest car and the slowest car, I'm curious to know, but it's not a big difference. The Group 2 cars from Revo Slot are a freaking blast. Full-size Revo cars might be the fastest cars on the track because of the weight. And they just hold on. Like I'm getting all kinds of grip, and I can pretty much, I'm running at like 9.5 volts, and I can scream with a Revo slot around it. The Thunder slot, they are really, really fast, but they don't get through the corners quite as fast as the Revo slot. And the NSRs get around pretty good, but I need to come up with a couple of classes of cars where I've got 4, so we can kind of run them like IROC races. And so that's kind of my plan. Marty, the Electric Dreams guy that interviewed you was at the track Gene races in Ashland. Yes. Okay, is that the interview that's today? I was teasing Marco, like, how come I'm the only person that had to show the plumbing and their background on their interview? Everybody else has these great backgrounds, and my background is my plumbing and my HVAC. Gotcha. Pics of NSR Lola slot car. So Harry, yes, Jim Rose actually put a really nice video out today about that car, and he sort of predicted the car in a previous video. Jim, when did you do that? Like 2 months ago? Cars you feel like manufacturers should build, and you kind of nailed it with the NSR and this new Lola. But the pictures look really good, and it looks like it's a new chassis design, which is really pretty cool. So that's cool, Greg. I've looked at their website. They have a bunch of wood tracks. It's pretty cool. I didn't realize Gene was so close, and that's where he was racing. That's pretty cool. Phil Russo, 4-lane, 135 feet, Ultra 4 axle box for analog or digital. Nice job, Phil. You will enjoy that. Man, that's a big 4-lane track. Whew. Mine's only 60 feet. Yours is more than double mine. Yep, Greg says big track. Would a stain work on the wooden track? DJ Patrick, I think you would want paint. Although it'll get scratched, I'm sure. I did 3-4 coats of paint. And the paint's still pretty soft. But with the latex paint, you get a great grip. And so I think that's what you would want. I think stain would be too slick. Slaughter. Slaughter, not OCD enough. If I'd had to Bondo the wood, I'd have skimmed the whole board and sanded it back. Yeah, I said there's some things I can give up, but it's more about obsessing about the overall project of start to finish. So try Durham's rock hard over the Bondo, sands easy and finishes like spackle. You can even use a wet towel. Vin, I actually have used that. That's a good idea. I just did not have any on hand, and I did have some Bondo. The Bondo is a little bit flexible, and so, but it's like I had to use 80 grit sandpaper just to shape it a little bit, and I still felt like it didn't shape. It didn't work well, so that's why they have files, I guess. Copper is cheaper, and that's a good way to go. It is cheaper, George, but I think braid is obviously not near as fragile. But we're going to try the copper for a while, and then if I decide it needs to go braid, I'll go braid. I'll make a video about converting it from copper to braid. Yeah. So, but from an expense standpoint, I would have as much in my braid as I have in the whole track. And so I thought, for now, I'll run the copper tape and see how it is. It's like smooth as butter, though. Like I was surprised how well it actually worked. And I guess I've not been on a track that uses copper tape, so I had zero experience with it. And I'm looking at it going, yeah, how's this going to work? And Shotgun Dave told me basically take the two pieces, drop them down, stick them to the bottom of the track, and throw a screw in them. I'm like, and that's your connection? And heck yeah, it worked awesome. I was like, it could not get any easier. And then I labeled everything underneath my track. So I laid down there and I was like, okay, this is lane 1, lane 2, lane 3, lane 4, left rail, right rail. This goes to, black goes to controller, white and red. Here's where the positive and the negative. It's all labeled underneath. So if I sell this track down the road to somebody, they can look at it and on the bottom and figure out how everything is wired and works. I did homemade make my driver stations. I kind of like the homemade driver stations. I did not put XLR, but I have room for XLR, so I will eventually do that. I just didn't have them. So eventually that'll be a project that I'll add XLR, because I added XLR here, and that was really nice on the race day. So guys who had XLR just snap, bam, from lane to lane, and it's super convenient. So that's the plan for that. But George is right. Copper is cheaper, and it is a good way to go. Budget. That's right. Yes, Vin, $100 or 100%. Oh, talking about the Dormans. Yeah, it works good. I've used it for lots of things. I have a dog that has chewed on some woodwork, and I've used Dormans to fix some of that woodwork. And then the dog must like the taste of it because he'll get bored and chew on it every once in a while. So I'll fix it. It'll be great for like 3 or 4 months, and then all of a sudden I'll come home and there'll be teeth marks, and then I patch it up. So I just had gone through all mine. Wood filler. Yeah, that's right. Hey, Tim, welcome. Good to have you. Tim is working on his own wood track. So Tim, it's pretty nice. It's been a long project for him, though. I think it's pretty good. Yeah, Peter, repurpose. I have repurposed lots of stuff in this project. Justin, once you got it in the groove, no pun intended. Once you got in the groove, yeah, no pun intended. Shotgun Dave, my first small oval was built from 2 MDF cabinet doors. Where there's a will, there is a way. That's right, Shotgun. So you could easily draw out on a sheet of MDF, which MDF is expensive right now, guys. Like a 1/2 inch 4x8 sheet of MDF in the States is $45 to $55 a sheet. And 3 years ago, it was $25 a sheet. So the cost of building a wood slot car track from scratch right now because of MDF costs is not cheap. It's expensive. So, hey, Curvy, welcome. Yeah, Mike, George is a good one. He's got all kinds of great information. I often use sawdust of the same wood and mix it with wood glue to fill holes and gaps. That works fine if you won't need to overpaint it. Yeah, Bo, I've done the exact same thing. I had plenty of MDF sawdust. MDF dust will give you a headache. Yes. Show me Speedway. That's what I thought it was called. Yeah, Dave, I went on Dave's recommendation about the copper, mainly because I wanted to save some money, and he told me not to be afraid of it, and I'm glad I went that route, but we'll see what happens down the road. That's exactly right. Also, paint all the MDF to seal it. Otherwise, the formaldehyde they use to bond it leaches out, especially somewhere warm. Yeah. It's a crazy. Bo, I have a dust extracting vacuum where I can hook up electric power tools. Yeah, I actually have one of those as well, right over here in the corner. So, yeah, the vacuum is really good. Let's see here. A shop vac attachment to the router is a godsend. At the same time, it's a pain in the butt. Yeah, you got to deal with it. But again, I did not have to route that much inside, so that was good. I also run nobody's home. I also run HO cars. AFX track is too narrow. I copper taped Carrera Go track, and I have my HO cars run awesome. Copper tape performs very well. There you go. Yeah, I'm not having any problems. I'll show you here in a minute. An idea for a showdown tour of your oval, Harry's and mine. George, count me in. I think that would be awesome. Is the cars just go from one track to the next, and then we have a series winner. If you guys are up for that, let me know. I'm in. Yes, John Albright. I didn't go outside. I was in my garage, but I had my garage door open and my side door open, and I had a really nice cross breeze and my leaf blower. But George, going back to this, I love it. I love it. I think that's a great idea. Yeah, his is 16 by 5. There are new things coming to make modified cars easier to get parts for. Awesome. I would like to build one, but would need help for sure. Have never used a router and don't own one. Greg, they're not difficult to use. A good straight edge for the straights. I just used a long board, and screwed it down, and then filled the holes after I was done. That's right, Chris. They sell them every day. Yeah, you don't have to have an expensive router. I'm using my dad's Sears router that he bought in probably 1979, maybe 1980, and that's what I was using, and it worked great. The Chillicothe. The jalapenos were a great substitute. The Chillicothe bull ring. Yeah, I kind of like my original nickname was the Two Lines bull ring because it is a bull ring. It's pretty tight. It's only 12 by 6. So, Thunder Alley Speedway. There you go. Hey, Terry, man. Welcome. Thanks for being here. You can run on all compounds on a wood track. Yeah, they all seem to be working really well on that latex, George. Does the chat keep freezing for anyone else tonight? Have to keep refreshing the update. I have not had any problems. We're sitting at 80 people. I don't think that has anything to do with it, but let's see here. Ohio Oval. Sort of like what they did and made the Roval, Ohioval. Okay, I see it, Daryl. I see it. No, you will not be bored with an oval. No, I think you're right, George. It's just a different type of racing, and I think it really is tight racing, right? So the longer the track, I feel like the more space there is to separate. I told Tad, I'm like, there's going to be lots of crashes, lots of pileups at the end of that straight. So I got to get the walls done. Nothing wrong with making a left turn. No. Although Slot R would rather us make right turns because that's how they race ovals over there in the UK. It just told me I was logged out and I couldn't comment, refreshed, and it's back. There you go. John Albright, Two Lines Speedway. Yeah, it's just so this could be Two Lines Raceway Park, and we've got the road course and the oval, right? We could go that route, John Albright. George, I agree. It's going to be fun. I was trying to talk John Mark and Dusty coming in just so I'd have somebody to race against tonight because last night, once I got everything wired up and working, I put a couple of cars on and I was racing my left hand versus my right hand. And my left hand was actually doing way better than I expected it to do. But it was a pretty competitive race with myself. Yep, nobody agrees with George. That didn't come out right. Sorry, George. Everyone agrees with George, especially nobody's home. There we go. Yeah, if you're bored running on an oval. And when I was talking about 2 lanes versus 4 lanes, I just realized we have so much fun on this 4 lane that if I had the space and the opportunity, I might as well make it a 4 lane. So that's why I did that. So Greg, I went with 4.5-inch lane spacing. There's plenty of room for 124 scale on this track. That's why I went 6 foot wide. I actually have room for a 5th lane if I wanted to. It would be about I don't know, 12 or 13, about a 13-inch radius. So it would be pretty tight, but like it would be doable because I went 6 feet. But it has plenty of room for 124 scale. The 132nd scale cars feel huge at 4.5-inch lane spacing, to be honest with you. I mean, I could have gone 4.25, but I had the room. I didn't see any reason not to. And I've got 6 inches from the outside lane to the wall. And my 124 scale car, the bumper can still hit that with my land barge. Of course, a land barge is a land barge. It's big. Yeah, that's right. Yep, hear the plumbing in action. Oval races are more boring than oval race tracks. Oval offices are more boring. I gotcha. Yeah, Bo, you're right. Daryl will send more fly cars. Hey, the fly cars run pretty good, Daryl. So, yes. Actually, I think I've got my Legends car laying over there, Jim. The Legends car is a lot of fun on the track. You got that right. Jerry, hi folks, club racing this evening wasn't so good. Stock Carrera was dead last. I was fighting positioning with both ghost cars. It's all right, Jerry. We all have some of those nights, man. Sometimes the car just is not performing. It's never the driver. Outsmarted the system. Chat is working on the phone. One should go braid, you never go back. Vin, you're probably right. We'll see. Again, it's all part of my plan for the track was how inexpensively could I build this and get a 4-lane oval up and running. And then, we'll eventually do things to it. Braid. Yeah, I would, Tad, you're right. I would, if I was going to do braid, I would definitely get the adhesive backed kind from Slot Car Corner. I agree completely. Abundance of silver to make rails out of. You can solder the copper tape joints. Yeah, I watched Harry's got a video out there on repairing copper tape. It's pretty easy to do. Does copper tape fight you when you lay it around the corners? Jerry, no. And I'll tell you why, thanks to Shotgun Dave, who was a professional painter in his previous life, taught me exactly how you lay the tape down. And basically, when you go around the turn, you want to give yourself a decent size so that you can turn and work that on. You'll see it in my video, part 2. Video part 2, I'm laying the copper tape down. I'm painting copper tape, and so I show that in the video. So on Saturday when I release the video, you'll be able to see that. It's not difficult to lay the copper tape down on the corners. And I see a lot of people lay it down, and there's all these little creases. When I show you my track, I don't have any of those creases. You can shape that at a 1/4 inch wide. It's not a problem to shape that. And then you just need to varnish it. And basically what I did was Dave told me to take the end of my my large Sharpie marker and that hard plastic, and after I got it down, I just rubbed each of the rails, the copper tape, down in really good to the table so it adhered really well. Yep. If the tape is varnished down good, tires won't affect it at all. Hey, Jamie. Not late, man. No worries. Repairs are easy with copper tape. Yes, they are. They are easy. Where there's a will, there's a relative. That's right. Steve, that's a good one. DW Barker, hey, y'all. Welcome. Glad you were able to join. Thanks for tuning in. The most important thing in terms of routing are good router bits. Never buy cheap ones. That can be very dangerous because they run with high speed. Yeah, Bo, I have a really nice 1/8 inch cutting bit, and it had 0 issues routing all those slots. Collection, let's see the track in action. Jamie, that actually is one of the names that I've thought about. The Chili Bowl, great job. But that is actually, I had thought about that because of being in Chillicothe. Yep. The dirt track at Ohio. OH. Hey, Shane. Lunchtime. Thanks for tuning in, man. The Buckeye Bowl. Chris, nice one. I like it. The longer the arms, the better the curve. That's right. Yep, it'll be in the next video, but actually, let's fire up this, and I will, I'm at the end of the comments, so, and it's 9:06, so let's go run some laps. Oh, wait, before I do that, I'm not prepared. Microphone, gotta plug the microphone in. All right, I think that is in 3. Check 1, 2. All right, guys, I'm going to flip to this camera. Let's make sure that it's working. Uh-oh. And let's go to phone. Uh-oh. It's not working. This is not good. No. Why is that not working? This is not good. Hang on. Well, guys, phone. Oh, wait. Oh, well, that stinks. I can't show you because the camera, I did an update to Ecamm Live. Do I have an update on my phone? That stinks. Software update? Nope, it says it's up to date. So let's maybe restart it. Well, shoot. Yeah, that's no good. Now I'm trying to restart my phone. There we go. Let's see if that does it. So I'll get back to the conversation. Bo, if you want to start with routing, the Makita is a good one to start with. It is corded. I'm planning to go to Cincy Slots this week, by the way, see what my Group C cars can do. I heard there was some really high lap counts last week from one racer. We have to see what's up with all that. Um, yeah, Steve. There we we reset. Um, Bruce sent out the rules just to remind everybody what the rules are for Group C. Yeah, I mean, I don't. It wasn't anything facetious, so um, it's just yeah. He doesn't want to have to tech cars. Dusty, there goes my chance of winning. That's right, me too. Daryl will watch Steven break the new record. Yep, I have a feeling Steve is a great tuner and a great driver. Um, yeah, Dusty and Jim had 49, and so I had 47, and I had like 6 outs. So if I can clean that up, I'll be in good shape. Never do an update. Bad things always happen when you try to show things. Curvy, you were right. I have no idea um, why they would break that in Ecamm Live. Let's see. Let me see if I can change this one more time. Nope. Not going to do it. It's not going to work. That stinks. Oh, wait. Hang on. Phone? Nope. All right. They broke it again. Well, dang it. That and bring this microphone back on. Yeah, Steve, it was just it was a car that was tuned for another track. Yeah, and it was all good. It was fast. It was a really fast car, but I think that it wasn't it wouldn't pass tech. That'd be my guess. 52 laps or something with a Group C car. Yeah. Yeah, there's nobody close. He smoked everybody. Let's see. Makita is nice stuff. Diehard DeWalt fan here. Yeah, and like they make that battery powered router. That would have been really handy to not have to deal with a cable, the core power cord. But that wasn't too bad. I use the corded one. It's tricky with the cord, but once you got used to it, it's all fine. Yeah, Bo, I agree. It happened with Android and Smart Race, at least for me, screwed up my race night. Oh, curvy. That's painful. Yeah. I've been passing on this update, and it looks like I should have passed on it. And this happened once before, and I can't remember what I ended up doing to fix it. But it's whatever it is. It's probably restarting Ecamm Live, and I can't do that. I don't have another cable long enough. It's in the other room, so I'm not going to be able to show you guys. What a disappointment. All right, we'll just have to. Should have maybe tested this before. That's messed up. All right, enough of the distraction. What else did I want to talk about? Oh, so I think the plan for this is I don't think this is going to be a shelf queen. Dusty got the Kyle Larson. I've got this. I don't know if John Mark picked up one. If he didn't, then we'll need to pick up one. I think all four of these would make great IROC cars for the track. And so I think that becomes a class, Carrera, IROC, NASCAR on the oval. And then Legends, I think, would make a great class for the oval. Um, I think fly cars would be fun. Just, any of the fly cars, even though the body styles, they didn't really run ovals. I would like to get my hands on a handful of the Mid America, the Parma slot cars or the sprint cars. I think it would be fun to build 4 of those, but they're about $100 a piece. But it would be cool to build 4 of those to run on the oval. I think that would be a lot of fun. Of course, all the scratch build stuff, like the Jake Dyke special, and the land barges. Those would all be really, really good on the oval, fun. But I'm telling you, the Revo slot Group 2 cars are a blast. But, man, they look tiny on that 4.5-inch lane spacing. After what I've seen Makitas go through at work, I'd say they will hold up. I'm sure you guys probably abuse those things. For decades, Porter Cable was the go-to router until the parent company, Black & Decker, ruined it. Now they don't sell any Porter Cable routers. Yeah, that brand's kind of disappeared. YouTube sucks. App tries to stop me from commenting. I think people had to log out and log back in, and they were able to start commenting. You're definitely not blocked, man. Yeah, some white kit stuff would be fun, but the sprint cars I would definitely like to build a couple of those for the oval. That would be a blast. Yeah, George, I agree. It opens up a lot you can do on the wood oval. I mean, I'm not afraid to run any car. It doesn't have to fit the theme of the track. Like I said, I ran this. I ran this car. This might be the fastest car on the oval. My Revo slot Porsche GT. It screams around the track, and it's because I think of the weight. With the latex paint and the extra weight, the heavier the car, it just is planted around that track. It's unbelievable. Oh yeah, John. Yeah, I think in the end we'll go urethane because um, that's what Harry runs, and if we end up doing like sending the cars George's track, my track, Harry's track for like some type of proxy, I wouldn't want people to have to change tires. So yeah, the plan would probably be urethanes on the oval or rubber on the oval. Um, so whatever works. Um, I actually I have my demon body that George sent me. That's actually my next scratch build for the Show Me Showdown. Um, Instead of sending the Jake Dyke special back in with the new motor, even though I think that car will fly with the new motor, um, my plan is to do the Demon and get that built. Um, so yeah, yeah, Jerry, that there are some amazing sprint car chassis that guys have scratch built brass chassis, incredible. But if you look at the Parma Mid America Sprint chassis kit, it's a cool looking chassis. To me, it reminds me of the original old Gambler chassis when they released the Gambler chassis back in the mid to late '80s with the down tubes. Um, that yeah, it's a awesome looking sprint car. John Albright, the Revo slot is based on a flexi car. So are you saying that that's why it just really likes the wood track? George, the Dirt Nova looks awesome with numbers printed on it. That's what I was referring to earlier. Your pictures are fantastic. Fantastic. Still no picture. Still no picture from the phone. I'm so disappointed. Okay, so I'll tell you what. What I will do is I will record a short and put it out there tonight after we're done of some racing action on the partially finished track. How's that? Since I won't be able to show it during the live stream, give me like 15 or 20 minutes and I will post a short out there to follow up this live stream, and we'll go from there. So you guys can see some cars running on it. Bo, I'm with the Makita 18-volt system for cordless tools. Yeah, Makita's good stuff. 22.5K long can magnet Predator motor on 132nd stick to the track. Yeah, the 22.5 and the 25K Predator motors, the Jolly Ranchers, those are great. But the short cans don't really have a bunch of mag effect, but I'm guessing the long can does. I did reboot the phone and it's still not. Yeah, it's still not going well. The Vega resin body is pretty sweet to paint and throw decals on. Yeah, I agree. What tires are on the Revo? Vin. I'm running super tires, the 2102s or 2112s. I forget what number is the Revo slot standard, but those are super tires. We run super tire silicones at Cincy slots and here on my track all the time. Since super tires have been great to us there at the track. So, but we run quick slicks too. And then Paul Gage urethanes on the scratch builds and Bobcat tires on some of my Carrera cars. And those are urethanes, and those work really, really well. There's not much difference between Bob's urethanes and my super tires and quick slicks. Very, very close on this track. And I'm guessing they would only get better because urethane will lay down on the track. So, question, have you tried turning it off and turning it back on again? Slot R hates that comedy. And I think it's brilliant. The IT Crowd is one of my favorite TV shows of all time. That's awesome. So, yeah, I can't figure out why this will not connect. It's frustrating. Greg Kessler just shared his lineup of cars he has prepared. Greg has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 cars prepared to my 0 cars prepared. I'll be lucky if I have 2 cars prepared. So, yeah, we'll see how it goes. Broke my mirror off of my Revo slot. Marcos on the first lap. Shelf Queen to Street Walker on lap. That's what happens. This car right here, the 908s have this big honking mirror that sticks up. Every 908 I've owned on the first lap that I've taken off on the track, I've broken that mirror off. So, that's something I need to do is I need to get my 908 fixed. So, do a live from your phone. Oh, I could follow it up with, yeah, I could do a live from my phone. Yeah. That's actually a good idea, George. All right. Josh is almost done with the design. Nice. Hey, you can still show the track live through your iPhone. Well, I mean, that's what I was trying to do, George. You're just saying, like, just do a separate stream. Oh wait, I could. Hang on, I could do this. It's not going to be awesome, but um, Elgato Camera Hub. Did that launch? Elgato Camera Hub. Yep, there we go. And then I could do this. What is that called? Epoch Cam. Let's see if I can get this to work. All right. Let's see. Epoch Cam. Camera. Elgato Virtual Cam. Virtual Cam. Oh, here we go, guys. Let's see if we can make this happen. Oh, hang on. All right, guys. Can you still see this? All right. Hopefully you can still hear me. Oh. And then, oops, wrong lane. But you can see I've got some banking to it. I've added the one wall. My driver stations, they're all ready to go. Let's do this. And we'll throw this out here on the outside lane, run some laps on it. Hopefully you guys are seeing this. I can't tell. Yeah, looks like it. Hopefully you have some audio from me too. It's hard to hold the camera in. Well, there you go. There's some laps on it. Let's run the, let's see, what do I have the big car here. This baby's smooth. I love driving this car. I'm a little nervous with no wall right there. So we'll take it easy. Take it easy, but here we go. I reinforced the legs, just like everybody recommended. The table moves pretty easy. Can move it around if I need to. Got my driver stations all on one side. So now I have now I just need to work on the timing, and then I need to work on the rest of the walls around the table. So we're getting close. Getting close, guys. And it doesn't eat up too much of this room. I'm going to reorganize a little bit. I got to clean my table off. But there you have it. I don't know. What do you think? All right. I don't know if you guys could see this. Let me catch up real quick. Let's go back. Four Lions Speedway. There you go. Success. Yes, we figured it out. What else? You guys couldn't hear me, but thanks, Tad. Loud and curvy, loud and clear. Sick oval. Now Marty will fall way behind in the chat. We have audio. Nice. Track is dirty. Yes, it is dirty. Johnny Pro, how do you change lanes? Yeah, we'll work on that. Let's see here. Thanks, John. Trying to hold the camera. No excuse for all the crashing. That's right. Rubber tires with a little STP. I have worked with Makita. The audio is good, but it would be funny if we all heard was you yelling from the other room. 2 times too late. So fast. Thanks for joining. Clean with lighter fluid. Track is dirty. Comment priceless. I'm getting. You're giving Tad vertigo. Yeah, sorry guys. That camera is just a little jumpy. It'll get better. One of the things I need to do is I definitely need to finish the walls. I need to finish. I want to paint the infield. I'd like to add like an inner wall and make it look a little more realistic. The Magnetic Racing guys have released some 3D billboards that look fantastic. There's some things that Kevin has that I'm looking at. I got to finish the timing from Racetrack Scenics. I got to finish the timing and update the computer that's going to be in there and pick up a screen, and I will be good to go. I'll be ready to host a race. So thanks, Terry. Appreciate it. Thanks, Daniel. Daniel will have to make it down here someday. Thanks, Mad P. Yeah, Mad P, hopefully the Maverick will be doing some laps before too long on the oval. Johnny Pro is asking, how will I time it? I've got some sensors that I used on this track that I'm going to try installing and see how they work on the oval. I would really not want, I'm going to try to not have to build a bridge, even though the bridge seems to be the best and the most consistent lap counting that we've encountered. And then I will probably use fast laps because I love it on this track. I think it'll be great. So somebody needs a larger basement. So, yep. Jim, you're right. I'm not done. This is a work in progress. I'm only about 3/4 of the way through the build. So I do definitely need safer walls. I was a nervous wreck with running my 124 land barge in the outside lane. But yeah, it's been fun. So guys, thanks for tuning in tonight. It's 9:35. I'm going to shut things down. But that's how I will time it. Johnny Pro is I'll use Fast Laps and use an Arduino, and I'll work on those safer barriers. Lift and shift. We're still talking tools. So guys, thanks for tuning in tonight. I really appreciate you. This has been fun. We ended up talking mostly about the wood track, but it's been a fun project. I would encourage you, if it's something you are interested in doing, build one if you have the space. But there's advantages of plastic track versus wood tracks. But it is a cool experience. It's definitely smooth, and it's a lot of fun. So guys, thanks. Appreciate it. And go have some fun racing. And Jim, good luck this week at the Western Nationals. Go get them.